In this video, I'm going to take you through my favorite tool, which is X-Ray from Helium 10. X-Ray helps you do a full analysis on the search volume that specific keywords and products are getting, how many ratings they've got so you know if you can compete, and many other things. In this video, in this deep dive tutorial of X-Ray, you're going to find out exactly how you can start successfully ranking products and beating the competition rather than randomly launching products, which a lot of people do who are not utilizing the Chrome extension properly. Next time you launch a product, you can succeed following the tips in this video. Let's go.
Welcome guys, so we are inside Helium 10 right now. Well, we're not inside Helium 10, we're inside the Amazon product page. I've put pet food in there, and then what we've done is loaded the Chrome extension on X-Ray. Okay, now if you haven't got X-Ray, the Chrome extension right now, you can get 50% off the first month or 10% off for life, hitting my link below there. And then once you've downloaded that, once you've installed the Chrome extension, you will see this page here. Now, the first thing you're going to notice, guys, on everything that you search into Amazon right here, when you've got the Chrome extension, is you can load the Chrome extension. It's going to tell you the exact search volume for that specific keyword. Okay. Now, not only that, okay, on my favorite tool right here, right, that a lot of people don't know, is that actually when you click into this graph here, not only can you see the current search volume, but you can see all time and for the last year, the last 90 days, last 30 days. So why this is so important, this little feature here, is that it tells you if A, it's a seasonal product, B, if you're going to have some consistent sales, if you manage to get one of the top spots in that keyword or similar keywords. So we can tell from this graph here, that in the last year, pet food, on around about July the 1st to July the 22nd, had a massive spike. So all year round, we can also see that for the last year, it seems to be around about 500 to 700 search volume. It spikes there in October, 1,155, goes over 1,000 there. I would say Q4, okay, September, October, November, December, end of Q3, whole of Q4 it seems to be selling more, but generally as a whole it's a pretty average selling product, around 600 to 700 the search volume, but in July there's a huge spike. Now let's see, clicking all time, if this is just for the year or if this is for all time. As you can see, March 2020 also had a huge spike. So I would actually say that in July, the fact that it had a spike just in July there shows us that it was just a one-off spike, because there was no other spike apart from way back then, which was probably to do with the pandemic and stuff. So we can see that July had a huge spike there. Other than that, this gives you the data on here to tell if it's just an everyday selling product. And it does have a little peak around Christmas, but apart from this random spike, which we'd have to do more research to figure out why it sold more then, you could just almost guarantee that it's always going to be a consistent keyword search, okay? So that's good to know, and that's why that's so perfect to be able to click into that. The next thing you're going to notice here, guys, is the total revenue. So you can see your total revenue for that particular keyword. We can see the average revenue, and we can see the average price. Now, the average price is actually one of the most important things here. Along with the search volume, knowing there's people actually looking for your particular products, the average price is extremely important. Now, a lot of people skim over this stuff, guys, but it's extremely important. And you can back up this by looking at the top few sellers just to double check their prices to see what the average price is. Because the last thing you want to do, and I've made this mistake in the past, I know countless sellers that have made this mistake, is that they've launched products and then they can't sell it for the price they want to sell it for. And what they didn't do was this research here, using the average price tool on X-Ray and also looking at the average price on X-Ray here, looking at the top few sellers. It gives you a good idea of what people are actually willing to pay, and it just says it right here in black and white, guys, along with the average price up there. Now, the top few sellers, right, are actually selling a pretty good price, around about £25, £28, £47. Okay, now these are variation listings. So once it comes down to this, you can see it's $11.99, $15.99, $13.76. So you've got to do that research, okay? Because if we hit filter results there, you want to click hide sponsored products from results and apply filters. That's another thing a lot of people don't do. because we don't want to be seeing the advertised products and counting them as our top 10. Okay, because that's going to give us skewed results. We want to see the top 10 products, and I'm looking at their price point once I've figured out the search volume. I'm looking at their price point, and it looks good. Okay, as I say, it's a variation listing, guys. Okay, it's a variation listing. Okay, so you can't just take into account that, because as you see, these sales, right, there's one way we can tell it as variation listing as well, is because the sales are all exactly the same. So you've got to count that as one product, okay, and that price. You've got to count this as one product and the price. Got to count this as one product and the price. So at first glance, it would appear that the average price is around about 25 to 28 to 47. It's not. That's one product. It's a variation product, guys. Okay. We got to scroll down here. Now we start to see the price points a lot lower. And that's why X-Ray flagged it up there. So that's the beauty of X-Ray when it comes to average price, guys. We can also see the average reviews. That's a lot. Now, the average review, guys, is a lot. Now, you don't want to have a product to be launching a product as a beginner that has got average reviews of 5,798. Now, another way we can look at the average reviews is scrolling over here. Now, once again, guys, bear in mind this is a variation listing. So we're going to count them as one product. But 6,112 reviews there. I mean, that's a lot, guys, okay? 84. That's not that many, okay? So that's a sign that someone, these guys, has managed to get in there and they've ranked as one of the top products for this keyword pretty recently because they haven't got many reviews. And if we can also look on here, we look at the creation date. And actually, it says their creation date was 2014. So it was actually a long time ago, which shocks me because they've only got a few reviews, which shows me they're probably not selling that many. Make sense? So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and look at the revenue. Another thing you can do is look at the revenue on here, guys. You want to look at the revenue of every single product. So this revenue, not that high, okay? As I said, I didn't think that would be selling many because it's been going a long time. It hasn't got many reviews. And as we can see in the last 30 days, this revenue shows us for the last 30 days, guys, it's only 3,299.40. Whereas these guys doing 107,274.50 for the last 30 days. So they've got into the top spot because they're old. That's what it says. That's what it tells us. So what I use this data for in X-Ray, guys, is to figure out, A, is their search volume? B, is there revenue in this keyword? Because if not, I've got to look at the other keywords to see if there's revenue in this industry at all. Average revenue. We look at the average price and the average reviews. We're looking at the sales. How many sales has that product got? The revenue for that product. And then we're going to shoot over here. Look at the review counts. Ideally, you don't want them really high, guys. The higher they are, the harder it's going to be for you to knock them off the top spot or compete with them at all. Okay? The next thing we want to do is have a little look over here at the creation date. X-Ray's just such an amazing tool for things like this. If we can look at the creation date, what we're looking for is finding someone that has launched a product recently, and I mean in the last year or so, ideally. If we can see proof that a product or a brand has come in here and launched a product recently when we look at the creation date. Is there any 2023 or 2024 on here? No, not in the top spots, no. We want someone that's launched a product recently. This is what X-Ray does. It shows you all this data. Someone that's launched a product recently that is getting good sales with hardly any reviews or low reviews compared to the competition, with good revenue at a good price point. Because once we know that, we know that we've got a chance of competing. Now, yes, you've got to take into account the PPC costs and everything like that. But once we've got that proof, it just ticks off a big box. That if we can be unique enough, then we can also get in the top spots ourselves. We can also get in the top 10. Now, let's look at some other data that it tells you. It tells you the brand. Okay, so this is by Amazon. This brand's by Amazon. So anything that's by Amazon, anything that's... X-Ray tells you the brand name here, which gives us straight away the data, the top 10 products If they're by Amazon, I would avoid that niche because they own that niche. If they're by one brand, as you can see here, guys, Pooch and Mutt, this brand has got all of these top spots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 products. I know they're variations, but they've still got 13 products in this keyword. Have they got any more? One there, one there, one there, one there. So if a brand is totally dominating, X-Ray also gives us the ability to see that. I would avoid brands that are dominating a niche, guys. I would check other keywords, which what you can do with X-Ray, to see if they're dominating in every keyword in the pet food niche. So it might just be one keyword, so that's okay. But if you're going after this particular keyword, I would be avoiding anything that's dominated by Amazon, anything that's dominated by one brand. All I'm seeing right now is Amazon dominating this big, Pooch and Mutt dominating this big, and this lifelong brand seems to be doing really well as well. James Wellbeing there. James Wellbeing again. Pooch and Mutt again. Scrubbles comes up here a lot. Scrubbles. So there's a few different brands now here, guys, but they are dominated by Amazon and Pooch and Mutt. So once again, the X-Ray here gives us the ability to not only show us all this data, but also show us the brands, the price point, the sales, and then the sales graph. And this is what I want to show you as well on X-Ray, guys. So the sales graph here will show you, not only can we look at the sales graph for the actual search volume, which is just out of this world unreal, judging if a product's going to be seasonal or not, or when the heights and lows are going to be so you can stock up more, etc. But the sales graph here, guys, the sales graph on that particular product is golden. We can click into, once you've got Helium 10, you can click into a particular product and look at the graph. And that graph is going to tell us the amount of sales on average this is getting for the last year, all time, last 90 days, last year. So we can see what the competition is doing. Is it even worth us launching? How many sales are they getting? When are their peaks and troughs? When's a good time to launch the product? When there's loads of traffic coming. We can see their sales drop off in February. We can see in January their sales are high. Sales average, look, 7-day moving average of 233. We can see that in November, at moving day average is 100. Okay, so just like every product, guys, there's a cycle. There's a sales cycle, and this gives us the ability to look at that. A lot of people don't go over that stuff. So yes, we've got the revenue there. We've got the BSR rank, which is good to know. As you can see, you see the massive difference between the BSR rank, 153 there, compared to the Pooch and Mutt one down here. They're not selling anywhere near as much. Okay, so that gives us this tells me that if I launch something similar to this, it probably wouldn't be that successful. And the only reason these guys are here is likely because they've been going for so long. And although they haven't been getting many sales, they've been consistently selling. But the competition is chipping away at them slowly but surely. It also shows us the fees in here, guys. It shows us the total fees, which is really cool. It shows us the active sellers. So you can start to see, is the top 10 sellers private label? Usually means just one seller. Or is it arbitrage? Because there's 6 sellers there, guys, which tells me there's a lot of arbitrage sellers getting into it as well, which means it's probably going to be a race to the bottom with that. Now, that could be good to know that if you're launching a private label product against a lot of arbitrage products, there's a lot of price tanking and stuff that goes on with that. So it could be good for you to know that there might be that competition might drop their price a lot, which you might find harder to compete because a lot of times arbitrage guys are just competing against price and it's a race to the bottom. So yeah, that's a good thing to know as well. Ratings, it tells us the ratings there, guys, and then the review counts, as I say. So the ratings are obviously important because, look, 4.3 stars is good, but could you do better? 4.4 stars is good. Could you do better? Could you get a better rating? These guys are 4.7 star rating, and that's probably a reason why they're in the top 10. They're a 4.7. Is there any 4.8s? No, 3.9s there, guys. 3.9. Why are they a 3.9 still in the top 10? Let's have a look. Oh, 2021 they launched as well. I'm surprised they're there because they're a 3.9 star rating. So that means these guys are a 3.9 star rating and they are still selling in the top 10, which tells me, and they're selling a lot. They've got 8,857 sales in the last 30 days, which tells me, looking at X-Ray here, that that's a hyper relevant product. So if you could launch something similar to that, a better quality product, read the reviews, figure out why they're not selling that well, figure out why the reviews are bad, then improve on that, then you could probably double them sales, because they're selling that many with a 3.9 star rating, which means a lot of customers are not happy. If you could go in there and fix that product at a similar price point, you could absolutely kill it. Tells you the seller country region. As I said, the fees, active sellers on the listing, ratings, review counts, images. You need to find products that have got, if they're still selling well, they've got hardly any images. That's also a massive golden nugget there to say that, the listing hasn't been taken care of that well and they're still selling well. These guys have got quite a lot of images, but still only 5 images on that one when you're allowed, a lot more than that. And then we see the buy box, guys. Who's got the buy box? So we can actually see, this tells us that the top products are all sold by Amazon, guys, which is, not ideal, because they can take control of that advertising all the time as well. Buy box, Amazon. Dominated by Amazon here. Category, guys. Obviously, they're all in pet supplies there. And then we got the standard size tier. What size is this product? Got the dimensions there. We've got the weight, and then the creation date. And as I say, the creation date is one of my most important things that you can see at a flash on Amazon right now using the X-ray tool. The fact you can see the creation date and you can compare that to the other data basically sums up exactly how you can know if you're going to be able to compete or not, guys. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. As I say, get 50% off your first month or 20% off. I think it's 20% off for 6 months with my link below, or a discount for life. We're using the link below. I will see you in the next video, guys.